Australians love coffee, and today we're taking a close look at the coffee industry and how they can increase sales, increase profits, and increase control using the DSD Assist mobile computing solution. Now, Andrew, how does DSD Assist actually help the coffee industry?
Okay, so DSD Assist is a portfolio of products designed for food and beverage companies to improve the process between taking an order, collecting payment. So we have solutions for customers to place orders themselves, so this is the end cafes placing orders themselves, for sales reps to visit these cafes, take orders, manage the store in terms of what equipment they've got, etc., and the delivery of those orders by a delivery driver.
What makes coffee companies different to, say, bakeries?
Bakeries tend to be delivering fresh product to the store every day, so their runs tend to be very fixed and very rigid. A coffee company, not so much. A coffee company will be delivering to cafes who might order once a week or once every few days. So the delivery run is constantly changing. The other thing that's important in a coffee company is to make coffee, you need a machine, you need grinders, you need frothers, you need all sorts of other ancillary equipment. So that's really, really important to manage for a coffee company.
Margins are always tight, so managing the ordering process and making it efficient is imperative. How does DSD Assist help in lowering the cost of processing orders?
There are hundreds of different web ordering solutions out in the marketplace, but we think that we've introduced some features to make it a little bit cheaper and easier for companies to manage that process. You don't want to be allowing a cafe to place an order for delivery on Monday if you're not going to that part of the city on a Monday. That inevitably means that you either have to disappoint the customer or your logistics cost is going to get really expensive to deliver that order on the Monday. So when the cafe is placing the order, we're checking the delivery schedule to make sure we can actually deliver on the day that they're requesting the order. So that's the first thing that we're doing. Secondly, the cafe tends to purchase the same blends again and again. So when they're actually in there placing the order, we've got a list of the blends that they've purchased previously or the blends that the store has identified as being their favourite blends. So that makes it easier and quick for them to reorder the same sorts of product again. And finally, the cafe can actually request and obtain copies of previous invoices from within our application to save them bothering the office staff, and that's driving cost out of the coffee company's business.
Every organisation is trying to increase their revenue by increasing sales to existing customers or to new customers. How does DSD Assist help in the sales process?
All right, so there are two aspects to what you've asked there. Firstly, how do we find new prospects that we can actually get into our portfolio, into our family, and they start buying our coffee products? So when a sales rep, for instance, is visiting a customer, we can pop up a screen that shows the nearby cafes, the nearby bakeries that they could perhaps visit while they're already there to try and encourage them to be purchasing our coffee rather than a competitor's coffee. So that's the first aspect of getting more customers. In terms of getting existing customers to buy more product, when the sales rep is visiting a customer, for instance, we can put a list together for the sales rep so we can see what other products, other similar stores in the area are purchasing that this customer is not. So that creates an upsell opportunity for them.
So DSD Assist is helping the ordering process and the sales process, but there's also some equipment that's required to be managed in a coffee environment, such as machines and grinders. How does DSD assist in managing those?
You're absolutely correct. I mean, you can't make coffee without a coffee machine. You can't grind the beans without a coffee grinder. So having that equipment in the store is really, really important. But equally, having it working is even more important, because if the coffee machine breaks down, then you're not going to serve any coffee for potentially half a day, which is a big cost to a cafe. So what we do is whenever we visit a customer, we can verify that the equipment is still actually there. We can ask the sales rep or the delivery driver, is the equipment still there? Yes, it is. If it's there, does it need servicing? And if it does need servicing, then we can create a technician's job to send somebody out there to service it. Or what we also find is that the delivery drivers and coffee companies can often do some simple repairs. They have some spare parts on their truck as well. so they can actually record those spare parts and the consumption of them, do the repair on site straight away. Now, if we come across a new prospect, then we also probably want to order a coffee machine for them as well, or organise something for them, so we can have them complete the terms and conditions, select the machine that's required on site, sign the document, and it's all done and stored electronically.
So the sales reps have done their job, the processing team have processed the order, now the goods need to be delivered. How does DSD Assist go about that?
So the orders that have come in from the web, from the customer placing them themselves, or from the sales rep, come into our portal. We send them to the ERP for fulfillment, but we can, once they have been fulfilled, we actually turn them into delivery orders. So the delivery orders get assigned to a truck, typically. A customer is typically on run 1, so we put them onto his order onto run 1's truck. The logistics manager can move orders between trucks if they need to balance out their fleet a little bit, and they can also then optimise the delivery sequence to make the delivery driver's day far more efficient.
Improving efficiency in your processes is always imperative, and there are a lot of web available apps to assist with that, but how does DSD Assist go about improving efficiency in processes?
For the delivery drivers, we've added some things that are very specific to the food and beverage industry that are particularly relevant to coffee companies. So firstly, we load the inventory onto the vehicle, onto the delivery vehicle in reverse delivery sequence. So it's easy for the delivery driver to unload when he gets to store. Secondly, because equipment, the coffee machines, the grinders, is so important to a coffee company, we allow the driver to actually verify service and track the inventory that they've used in servicing that equipment while they're in store. So that's really, really important.
Van sales are an interesting concept because you've got the sales rep also being the delivery guy as well. So how does DSD Assist go with van sales?
We've built a product specifically for van sales because it is a very complicated process. It's selling, it's delivering, it's collecting payment, and it's merchandising the product typically. In a coffee or tea business, there tends to be relatively little van sales. The orders tend to be taken either on the phone or with a sales rep or over the internet first. So the van sales tends not to get used terribly much in a coffee business.
So what does the future look like for DSD Assist in the coffee industry?
Well, it's actually really interesting because we're finding that coffee companies want to gather more information and get better insight as to what products, what blends are selling in which areas and which types of coffee stores, because that allows them to market far more efficiently. So I think that we see in the future more data gathering and more data analysis required to facilitate that.
Well, you can find out more about DSD Assist. Just visit them online at dsdassist.com.